Today I'm going to teach you how to play one of my favorite riffs from the song Ghost of Perdition by the band Opeth. Now, oftentimes in this type of music, there are some complex rhythms. So it's important for you to know how you can break down those rhythms into smaller, bite-sized chunks to be sure you're playing the riffs accurately. That's what we're going to do today, so grab your guitar and play along. To get started, let's just take our low-sounding E string and drop it down to D. The riff that we're learning today is only on our lowest 3 sounding strings, so drop D tuning is going to work just fine. If you wanted to learn the rest of the song, you would need to tune your guitar to D, A, D, F, A, E. But again, drop D tuning is going to be just fine for this riff. Before we get straight into what our left hand is doing, let's just take a moment to look at the overall rhythm of this riff. Once we do that, we're going to break down the riff one beat at a time and piece it together as we go. Alright, if we want to start breaking down the rhythm of this riff, let's first start by looking at our time signature and also breaking this measure into some smaller chunks. Our time signature is 6/4, so that means in this entire measure we have a total of 6 quarter notes. Also, if we look at how our notes are grouped together, we can see that we have 6 groups of notes or 6 beats within this measure. Let's start by labeling those 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's take a closer look at our first beat. We can see that it's broken up into 4 equal pieces, 4 16th notes. I am going to count that out as 1 E and A. 1 E and A. Now that we have the rhythm of our first beat, let's take a look at the tab. Alright, for beat 1, we are going to place our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. We will then pull off to 0, and we're going to do that twice. So we have 1 E and A. You can see that I'm doing 2 downstrokes with my right hand. Now let's do it with the click. Beat 2, we have 2 E and A. But we can see here that the and of beat 2 is a rest. So I'm going to put that in parentheses since we're not picking anything, but we do still want to keep in mind where that rest falls. Alright, beat 2 is going to sound like this. 2 E rest A. Alright, for beat 2, we start with a palm mute on our 6th string, just open. For the E of beat 2, we strum both the 5th and the 6th string, again just open. For the and of 2, we have a rest, so we're going to take our left hand and we are just going to softly place our hand around the 2nd fret to mute the strings. Placing our hand around the 2nd fret will help prevent any harmonics like this. So far we have 2, E, and. For the of beat 2, we strum once again on the 5th and 6th string, just open strings. Altogether, we have 2, E, and 2, E, rest, Here is beats 1 and 2 all together. 1 E and 2 E and If we look at beat 3, we have 3 E and We have another rest, which falls on beat 3. So we're going to put that in parentheses. Beat 3 is going to sound like this. Rest, E, and Rest. 3, E, and For beat 3, we are starting with a rest, so we're just going to take our left hand once again and mute our strings. For the E of beat 3, we have a palm mute on the open 6th string. Now, I prefer an upstroke here. Once we bring the riff up to speed, it's going to make things a little bit easier for us. For the and of beat 3, we have our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. For the of beat 3, we just pull off to the open 6th string. So altogether, we have rest, E, and 3 E and 3 E and Here is what beats 1 through 3 sound like together. Beat 4, we have 4, E, and 4 E and On beat 4, we place our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 6th string and then pull off to our open string for the E of beat 4. This should seem pretty familiar by now. For the and of 4, we pluck our open 4th string. 4 E and. Try as best you can to mute the 6th string once you pluck the 4th string. This is without muting. It rings out, which doesn't necessarily sound bad, but we're trying to be as accurate as possible. Without the mute, with the mute. For the of beat 4, we need to slide all the way up to the 6th fret of the 6th string. So altogether we have 4 E and Here's what beats 1 through 4 sound like together. Come to beat 5, another 4 equal pieces, 5, E, and but we can see that beat 5 We are not actually picking anything because it is tied into the last note. We are still holding a note on beat 5, but we are not picking a note on beat 5. So I'm also going to put this in parentheses. 5E and a. For beat 5, we are still holding our 6th fret of the 6th string from the end of beat 4. For the E of beat 5, we place our pointer finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. For the AND of beat 5, we place our ring finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string. And we are going to let these notes ring out together. And for the of beat 5, we just pluck our 4th string one more time. So all together we have 5, E, and This is what it sounds like if we include the slide from the previous beat. Here's what beats 1 through 5 sound like. For beat 6, we have 6, E, and I wrote here because that's how we are counting out the rest of the measure. But we can see that the last note in this measure is an 8th note, which takes the place of 2 16th notes. So here, I'm just going to put in parentheses. We are holding this note on the and through the of 6. 6, E, and Now if you really want to challenge yourself, try to clap the rhythm from beats 1 all the way through 6. I will have to look at the music. 1 E and 2 E, E and 4 E and E and 6 E and. For beat 6, we are going to place our ring finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string. For the E of beat 6, we are going to place our pointer finger on the 6th fret of the 5th string. And for the AND of beat 6, we're placing our middle finger on the 7th fret of the 6th string. And these notes are going to ring out together. For the of beat 6, we are just sliding down. 6, E, and Let's see how this connects with beat 5. You can see it's the same chord shape from beat 5 to 6. All right, let's connect everything together nice and slow. Now that we've gotten done most of the heavy lifting, we can finally just start having some fun with this riff. When I'm learning something new, I really like to start off slow at a steady tempo to make sure I got everything solid, and then slowly increase the speed from there. It can also be really fun to play on different guitars or on clean versus dirty, whatever you need to do to keep it interesting and fun. I'll play the riff for you now at a few different speeds. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really do hope you have fun with the riff. I'll leave a link to this book in the description if you want to learn the rest of this song or some other Opeth hits. Have a great day. Till next time. You ready to go for a walk, buddy?